First, this week's One-on-One in 10 with Māori Party co-leader Debbie Ngarewa-Packer on the latest from Te Tokerau, who is actually standing for Te Pāti Māori, and was it a political hit job on Mikey Sherman? Kia ora, comrade. Welcome to the show and thank you for being available to support the state. Your democracy is grateful.
Kia ora, how are you?
Debbie, we must start tonight with the latest machinations in Te Tai Tokerau, where Mariameno Kapa-Kingi has dropped any pretense of solidarity and is now directly attacking Te Pāti Māori by launching her own party. Māori Party voters are heartbroken enough as it is with this never-ending internal strife. Was the party right to push her out all along?
I think the party has had to navigate through some really trying times, and at the end of this mic is someone who's been with the party when it started, who was with the party when it was kicked out in 2017. It was actually with the party when Hone left, and has been part of the movement through some really brutal times. And so, you know, whether the argument of Mariameno should have been dismissed, expelled, has come through in the courts on process.
Yes.
Whether the conflict could be resolved, I think, has been determined in the decision that Mariameno has made in the last couple of days. And, you know, we're not homogenised as a people. These multiple political views, and we have seen multiple parties start in the history of Aotearoa before. So I think, you know, what's really important is that movements aren't carried, and they never have been carried by one person alone. It's, for me, it's about longevity, it's about loyalty and consistency. And I think that's what we focus on as Te Pāti Māori, is the kaupapa that was, you know, first designed by the crossing of Whaitariana. That's the movement that I continue to support and stay loyal to. What
would you say to Te Pāti Māori supporters who are just so sick of the drama, that they, particularly in Te Tai Tokerau, who don't have money to be able to put into the car to go out and get food, who don't have money to be able to pay for the trip from up north to Auckland for medical care? Those people are looking at pain in their day-to-day living, and they're looking to Te Pāti Māori, and all they're seeing is more drama. What would you say to those supporters?
I would say that, you know, we have some tough seasons, that we are a young movement that, like anywhere else in Te Ao Māori, whether you look at your whānau, your hapu, your iwi, that conflict doesn't cancel you out. And we have still turned up to the house. We have still been able to go out there and win the fast-track seabed mining kaupapa.
Absolutely.
We've still been out there standing on the front line with the unions. We've still been out there pushing for, you know, the amount of Māori that we have on the Māori roll. There's unprecedented in the history of Aotearoa.
Yes.
So you still mahi the mahi. And I think, you know, absolutely, you know, things aren't perfect. We are a young movement, but that has never cancelled us out from turning up and being there and being dependable and being reliable. And I get that trust is shaken for quite a few. And, you know, we've seen that play out. But again, it is about making sure that you have a voice that is going to hold these big parties to account. And again, we represent entrenching te tiriti. And if you can see that coming from any other party, if you can see that they're going to ban seabed mining, if you can see that they're going to sit there and make sure that our whānau are going to get the type of renewable energy solutions that they need to cut the cost of living, then ka pai. And I think the kōrero here is that, you know, we are under immense pressure as a people. But we have to also remind ourselves of who it is that we have and who's been here the whole way through, irrespective of the leadership issues, irrespective of people moving to create other parties. This has all happened in the history of this young party before.
Mariameno has turned a once safe seat for Te Pāti Māori into a four-way race with a good chance Willow Jean Prime may come through the middle. There's only one candidate I know of who could win it for Māori now, and that is Hone Harawira. Is he on the speed dial?
I'm not in a position to deny.
Oh, come on!
That is see, this is the difference of Te Pāti Māori. The mana sits with our electorates. It
Absolutely.
is completely Tai Tokerau's decision. And just as it was the electorate's decision to make decisions that people don't like, It is not a Debbie Ngarewa show. It is the mana of those electorates. And Whaiatariana was always diligent in making sure that the branches, the people who make up the electorates have the mana. And that's the uniqueness of Te Pāti Māori.
Does Hone have the mana?
They will determine who we have. What I can confirm is we've got some very high-profile, amazing candidates that have come through, and now it sits with Tai Tokerau to make that decision.
When will we know? When will we know?
I understand, and I'm a little worried about giving timelines because I've just sort of rushed them from the house, but I understand that it is a couple of weeks in the decision-making process. So they move quickly. We've had to, they have to appoint executives.
Sure.
And they have to, go through the process of their candidates and who they have the trust in. Our role there is to tautoko who they decide.
Awesome. We need to move on from Te Tai Tokerau and look at Tamaki Makaurau. And an extraordinary story last night that Oriini Kaipara was also thinking of leaving the party, which sparked questions around Hana as well. It turns out that speculation was a total mistake from inside Oriini's own communication team. With the election mere months away, can Te Pāti Māori continue making unnecessary forced errors like this?
Oh, look, I definitely think that we needed to make sure that comms was done correctly.
Yes.
And there was a mistake made.
Yes.
And Oriini has come really loud and confident in affirming to her electorate where she stands. She has the huge support of her executives, and mistakes are going to be made in the chaos of everything that was going down yesterday. Oriini has straightened that up. And I think,
awesome.
We have 5 candidates confirmed. We were all confirmed last year.
Can you please confirm who is standing for Te Pāti Māori right now? Can you please confirm them?
I can confirm the 5. So we've got Hayley Maxwell and Ikaroa Rāwhiti.
Yes.
Hana, Oriini, Arawiri and myself. And we now have a process internally with Taitonga and Tai Tokerau. And they're going through those processes now. So that'll take a couple of weeks.
And you think that'll be a couple of weeks and then we will know the full lineup, and that is the lineup you're going to the election with, yes?
Yeah, I think, Bomber, you've got to remember, this is the party in 2017 and in 2019 got absolutely ridiculed. I remember being laughed at and that we were committing career suicide to even put ourselves forward.
Yep.
And so, again, we know we have to work hard. We know we have to work hard for trust and confidence. We understand the issues that are affecting our people, and I don't know, at the end of the day, the polls are continuously showing the importance and significance of the Māori seats.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's just talk about that for just a quick second, because the latest polls actually have Te Pāti Māori in a very, very strong position. I don't know if you've seen the Roy Morgan poll out tonight. You're back at 4.1%. in the Roy Morgan poll. So the damage that has been done, look, there's a way of bringing it back, isn't there? People are drifting back to Pāti Māori.
I think we just have to continue to mahia the mahi, and Rawi and I have, I believe, shown strong leadership to get back, mahia the mahi, continue to be out on the ground. I've spent 4 days out in Waikato and Tokoroa, Taumaranui. You can't take anything for granted, and polls have never really been how we gauge our kaupapa.
No.
Our gauging of support is those who turn up, and we've got a really active social media that tells us in real time how we're doing or not, and we've just got to mahia the mahi. We take nothing for granted, and again, the polls aren't something that we've always measured ourselves on. They've always been wrong for us.
Yes.
And we just continue to get out there and show our people who we are, because the thing for us is we have huge electorates and huge diversity, and always turn up kanohi kitea is the poll for us.
Are you concerned that your comrades in Labour can't count? Because if you are able to do well in those electorate seats, you've got more chance of creating an MMP overhang, which will be able to fend off this right-wing government. Does it concern you that the Red can't seem to do math?
I'm concerned that their focus is more on taking out Te Pāti Māori and
that's
the Māori
a problem.
season,
That's a problem.
Chris Luxon and this coalition out. We have only got one focus, and the reason we know we have to work hard to get our people to turn up, the reason our whole mandate has been to increase the Māori role is the way that it closes off at August the 6th.
Yes.
So we haven't ever lost focus of that. I can't talk for the other parties, but it's disturbing to see headlines that are more focused on us than it is on us collectively getting this government out. We're
Preach.
not the threat
No.
to Labour. We're actually an ally, and I've never seen us like that. From the moment we got back into Parliament, we've never ever had a relationship like that. And you look at the MPs; they can talk to every other Māori across every other political party. Labour still see us as in the way. So it's a sad lack of maturity and understanding, and I think they've got the dial wrong on that. But
Yes.
again, we're not focused on any other party. We know what we have to do, and we will do everything we have to get this government out.
The Mikey Sherman resignation after being hounded out of TVNZ has angered many. She was no friend to Te Pāti Māori. Her reporting was always highly critical of the party. But the manner in which she has been set up seems very obvious here. Do you believe Mikey's resignation was a political hit job?
Absolutely. It was a political hit job. I mean, here we have a wahine, an outstanding wahine, who did absolutely no favours. Everyone keeps saying she was soft to the
I know,
to the left. Wasn't soft on us.
Exactly.
And we didn't ask her to be either. To be really fair, we don't expect any media to treat us differently. But what we have seen here is the way that the information was hurled, the way that TVNZ didn't have her back, the way that we've only heard one side of the story, and no one in any way or form has condoned the language that she used. It's just the way that it was released to be able to do a massive character assassination to the point that we now have an outstanding wahine who got into a position that is really rare for any of our wahine to get into.
Right.
Have been forced or to feel forced to have left a critical role. And a lot of I think Oriini said it really well. A lot of our rangatahi could see themselves in her, and she showed a way to break through and be who you are. And we can. I heard someone sort of say recently, oh, well, she was wahine Māori, she shouldn't be worried about her at all. Actually, we can be this and this and this and this. And I think the misogynism that's continually targeted at talented wahine who are fluent Reo speakers, it just was all stacked up. Absolutely. I'd be really hard fixed to change that opinion.
Finally, Debbie, this hard right government have embarked upon the most extreme anti-Māori and anti-treaty agenda we have seen in recent times. Why is this such an important election, and why must people get engaged?
I think it's so important, not only because they have attacked last 60, 70 years of every incremental change that was positively done to address Māori inequities and to address and promote Māori solutions. But what we have is not only are they hurting, and you look at it, fair pay equity for women, you look at the way that they've attacked anything, we don't even hear Māori. You're not allowed to address inequities in this government. It's all Kiwis. We treat all Kiwis the same.
Right.
Well, actually, some of us are tangata whenua, we've never called ourselves Kiwis. But the reality is they're actually also allowing a huge opening of corporate exploitation and an attack on our taiao. And so what we've got is a government that's making irreversible damage to our people and to our taiao. And you may not think that that's going to impact on you politically. You may think your life's going to carry on. We've got an exodus of rangatahi over to Australia, more than we've ever seen. Unemployment rates for Māori in Pacifica high, homelessness. That's what we're dealing with. And if we give this government another term, they will only heighten that. I don't know what would be left to take off us, given that we've got the next 23 pieces of legislation that are going to have weakening of te tiriti. So there is a government that is in denial not only of tangata whenua, but in denial of the beautiful history that we have as a nation. And I don't believe that our tangata tiriti, our allies, are prepared for an Aotearoa that is so backward. And it's not the relationships that we see out on the ground. So I fear for the way that they are going to hold back our development as a nation. We've matured. We want to be better. We want to look after each other. And so that's why we need to get them out.
Thank you, comrade, for your insight and oversight. We'll speak with you again next month. Thank you.
Next time.